Hello everyone, welcome back to the MERN Stack Laboratory series. In the previous experiment, we learned how to query data from MongoDB using different conditions. Today, we'll move one step ahead and start working with Node.js and Express.js. This experiment consists of two parts. In the first part, we'll learn how to read cookies from the HTTP request header using Express.js. In the second part, we'll work with JavaScript objects, where we will print object properties, delete a property, and calculate the total number of properties. So let's begin. Before starting the experiment, let's understand two important technologies. The first one is Node.js. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment. Normally, JavaScript runs inside a web browser, but with Node.js, we can execute JavaScript programs outside the browser. That's why we are able to create backend applications using JavaScript. Now, Node.js itself provides only the runtime to make backend development easier. We use a framework called Express.js. Express.js helps us create servers, handle client requests, define routes, and send response back to the browser. In today's experiment, we'll use Express.js to create a simple web server. Before looking at the code, let's understand how a client server communicate. The browser acts as a client, our Node.js application acts as a server. The client sends an HTTP request, the server processes the request, finally the server sends an HTTP response. In today's first experiment, we'll examine the request sent by the client, specifically the cookie header. Let's begin the practical. Open server.js. First we have to open server.js. This line, the first line, imports the Express.js module. The require function loads external modules into our application. Next, this creates an Express application object. We'll use this object to define our routes and start the server. Next, app.get. This creates a get route. Whenever the browser visits http localhost 3000 check cookies, this function executes. Here req rec represents the request object, res response represents the response object. Now let's understand this carefully. Within this line, whenever a browser sends a request, it also sends http headers. One of those headers is cookie. We access the cookie by using request.headers.cookie. If cookies exist, their values are stored in the variable cookies. Otherwise, the OR operator returns no cookies found. Next, response.send. This sends the response back to the browser. Finally, app.listen 3000 starts the server on port 3000. Open the terminal. We just have to open the terminal and just type node server.js. So the server is running on the port 3000. We have to open any browser and we just have to type localhost 3000 / check cookies, whatever we have given it the name. So we have here no cookies found. If you want to set the cookie, you just have to open the development tools by pressing F12 and set the cookies. Document.cookies equals to, just give any number you want and just refresh it. So we have set the cookie successfully. Now let's move to the second part. We have to open carprop.js. What is an object? In JavaScript, an object stores information as key value pairs. Example, brand, model, year, and color are all properties of a car object. This creates a variable. By using it, we are creating a variable called car. This creates a JavaScript object. Inside the object, we have four properties: brand, model, year, and color. Next, we have console.log. It means we are just printing. Object.keys returns all property names as an array. For our object, the array becomes brand, model, year, and color within the array. Next, we have this line, delete car keys of 1. So we have to delete the second property and get the length of the object. Arrays start from index 0. So keys of 1 is model. So we have to delete the second property. Therefore, this statement becomes delete car.model. The second property is removed. By using this line, we are removing the second property. After that, we are printing the updated object. Now only brand, year, and color remain. Next, object.keys of car. Objects.key, it will return all the keys. Its length becomes 3. Finally, we print number of properties. Object.keys, it will return all the keys from the object, and dot length will return 3, and then it will be saved to length. At last, we are just printing console.log is a print statement within JavaScript. So we are printing the length. So to execute this program, we have to type node carprop.js. So it will print all the car objects. After deleting the second property, it will update the object and it will print, and at last it will print the number of properties, the length of the car properties. So today we learned how to create an Express server, how HTTP request headers work, how to read cookies, what JavaScript objects are, how to retrieve object keys, how to delete object properties, and finally how to count the number of properties. That's all for today's experiment. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like the video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next experiment.